Who are these people that will receive pardons, and why are wives receiving preemptive pardons going back a decade?
So these pardons, 3 of the 5 are Joe's siblings. Joe is the classic oldest Irish Catholic son. What that means is he got the most opportunities. Even Jimmy, in an interview, said that Joe got the best cut of meat growing up. So Joe's the oldest. And then followed by Joe is Valerie, the sister, Jimmy, the little brother, who was the most involved, who was, if I had to pick any of the 5 who just got pardoned, Charlie, Jimmy was the one who most needed it. And then the littlest brother, the most pathetic Biden by any metric, Frankie. Those are his 3 siblings. Now, the other 2 individuals were the spouses of those first 2. Valerie's married to John Owens, and John Owens was Joe's law school roommate and best friend at Syracuse. So the president's best friend at Syracuse Law, John Owens, married his sister Valerie, but he also just got a pardon. So the Syracuse Law School class of 1966 should have a scarlet letter around its neck for the next, for eternity, because they're probably the only people, the only law school class out of Syracuse to have an unconditional pardon given to one of its graduates. And then there's Sarah Jones Biden, the wife of Jimmy. Like I said, the only 3 of these 5 individuals do we have evidence from the laptop of engaging in criminal activity. That means that Joe is aware, in the case of Valerie and John Owens, of criminal activity that they engaged in outside of the laptop. So there's stuff that and only Jimmy and Sarah have been contacted by the congressional committees. They're the only ones who Comer and folks wanted to talk to. So that means that Frankie and all these other 3 individuals, they know something that the public still doesn't know. And there are 2 other laptops that belong to Hunter, which we go into on our report, that we don't have access to. One of which was picked up by the DEA in their raid of Hunter's psychiatrist, Keith Abloh. And the other was stolen by Russian drug dealers in Vegas. So the compromat is still out there. We just have one of the 3. So maybe that the pardons for Valerie and John are because of conduct captured in some of those other laptops. So again, he didn't even have the courage to release this on the morning of the 19th. He didn't even, he thought this was so egregious that he didn't even put it up with Fauci and Milley.
See, this was actually the correct analysis. They knew that if President Trump knew about this before his inaugural, he would have mentioned it in the inaugural, and that he would have turned around and would have been like, shame on you. And it would have been one of the greatest moments in American history.